what you're worth. Now go out and get what you're worth.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show. Jim Cella and Johnny Parlay with the facts. So relax, grab a drink, then let's get back.
Hello, Pittsburgh. I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's episode of The Spread. I am your host, Jim Cella. Johnny Parlay is not here as usual. He seems to just be hiding out from me. Doesn't really want to come to work. I don't know if he's going to try to make the unemployment line or not, but I don't think it's going to happen on my watch. But anyway, that's besides the point. We are here tonight to talk about the Sam Bradford injury. I ran into my friend Brandon Desantis. Brandon is a athletic trainer for the University of Delaware. He recently was working with the UCLA Bruins football team. I thought I'd sit down with him and ask him a few questions about the injury to Bradford. He suffered his second ACL tear in the last 2 years, and it was even in the same knee, which makes it even worse. So I just wanted to ask him a little bit about the injury, you know, how long it may take to come back, and if Bradford will ever be the same type of player. So I'm going to go ahead and play the interview back for you. I hope everybody enjoys it. Hey, Brandon, how you doing today?
Doing really well. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine, man. It's nice to have a professional on the show that actually somebody who knows what they're talking about, not just me blabbing my mouth over the speaker here. So you ready to go?
I'm ready.
So in your career, have you ever worked with a player who tore his same ACL twice?
I have, actually. And you hate it for the guys that deal with it. It's both a physically and mentally demanding injury, and it really just complicates things and makes it much more difficult.
Do you think the healing process will be any different, maybe take a little bit longer the second time around?
I wouldn't say there's much of a difference in the healing times. But, having a second injury to the same knee may change how they do the surgery. Usually they'll take a portion of the patellar tendon and that is inserted into the knee and essentially becomes your new ACL. If that's already been used once, it's much more vulnerable and it's a lot weaker than it was before. So if it's already been used, it may be unable to be used again. And keep in mind, every case is different. So depending on the athlete, things could definitely change a lot.
Now, unfortunately for Sam Bradford, he's battled through a couple injuries in his career. He had that shoulder injury that was early on in his career, and now back-to-back ACL tears. Do you think he could be injury-prone more than other players? Unfortunately,
yeah. I mean, it seems like throughout his history, he's dealt with some kind of issues, maybe even going back to his days in college, but you definitely hate it for him. I mean, I don't know him personally, but you hate to see that happen to anybody twice, let alone, a good quarterback in the NFL.
So, Brandon, I wouldn't exactly call Sam Bradford a mobile quarterback, not like Michael Vick or maybe Donovan McNabb early in his career, but he certainly likes to get out of the pocket and move side to side. He's not really a traditional drop back like Peyton Manning. He's not going to take a 7-step drop and just gun the ball down the field. Do you think there's a chance that he could ever gain full mobility back in that knee?
I think so, yeah. I mean, mobility probably isn't going to be his main issue. It may be difficult to regain, but if his rehab's done correctly, he can definitely get it back. He may never have the same girth, size in that quad. He might also never have the same amount of strength, but he's going to have some far bigger issues than pure mobility of the knee.
If Bradford has to wear a brace when he comes back, do you think it's going to change the way he plays?
Well, he's definitely going to need to wear a brace. It's standard protocol for anybody who comes back from an ACL injury that they have to wear a brace. And I'm pretty sure when he hurt his knee the second time, he was wearing a brace. But aside from that, physically, I don't know that you can alter your game that much in the NFL and still continue to be successful.
No, I know Adrian Peterson only tore his ACL once, but he came back last year like a beast, dude. He was mauling through defenders to the end zone. Is there any way Bradford can come back from this injury 100% next year?
He definitely can. Again, if his rehab's done the right way, he can definitely come back and be healthy. Keep in mind, there are not too many Adrian Petersons in the NFL, let alone the entire world. I mean, the guy is a freak. and he's put up some amazing numbers upon coming back. But I think that Sam can get back to being the same kind of player he is now, but it is going to take some time.
Do you think if he would have taken more time off after the first injury, it could have helped prevent this one?
I don't know that more recovery time would have been helpful. A quote-unquote normal recovery time is somewhere between 8 and 9 months before a team physician will clear you to have contact. And most of the time, that doesn't happen before 9 months. And to be cleared, they'll need to have certain criteria. You'll need to have certain strength, range of motion, ability to run normally, ability to plant, cut, twist, and the ability to complete sport-specific drills without having any hesitations. And assuming that he went through this process already, his team doctors especially, had to feel confident in where he was coming back from that first injury. So I don't know that more time would have helped. It seems like he was back to where he was when he was cleared.
After 18 months, it seems to me that the mental hurdle is just as tough to come back from as the physical.
It definitely is. Again, most of the guys I've worked with at the college level, at the professional level, these guys, football's their craft. They're strong, they're big, they're fast. So the physical part of it never really seems to be the issue. It's more the mental part, especially post-surgery, having to go through the pain of having a surgery and dealing with the different kind of checkpoints along the road. That's what makes it very difficult. And like I said before, 9 months, that's a long time. And to be committed to something pretty much every single day for 9 months, it's definitely challenging, and it can be mentally tough on a lot of guys. But these guys who are they have their end goals in mind. Obviously, Sam's is to come back and to play quarterback again in the NFL. He can definitely do it, but yeah, he's going to be challenged a lot along the way.
I hope Sam can overcome the challenges and come back healthy. It would be a shame if he didn't make it back to the NFL. The Rams have a great defense, and it seems like all they really need is a good quarterback to get over the hump and maybe challenge for the division. So that wraps up tonight's episode of The Spread. I want to say thanks to everyone who's listening. But before I go, Brandon, I know you're a big Steeler fan, so I just wanted to get your prediction on the season this year. You think maybe with that no-huddle offense, they're going to let Ben run, they can get over that 8-8 hump?
I think so. I definitely think this is the year. I think they showed a lot of spark at the end of last year, and I think that's going to carry over. The preseason didn't look so good, but I don't put a whole lot of stock in that. I'm hoping for a good year, hopefully at least 10-6, and I'm definitely thinking the playoffs this year.
Yeah, as a lifelong Steeler fan, it's been killing me the last 2 years seeing them at 8-8 and missing out on the playoffs with Cincinnati making it the last 3. So I'm really looking forward to a big year, and I hope we get back to prominence.